MVVM and SwiftUI. Apple kind of recommends it, but is it good for SwiftUI? Is MVVM the way to go with SwiftUI? Well, today we are going to talk about that, but before we dive into that really juicy topic, let me remind you that you still have a few days left till the Black Friday deals go away. It's 50% off for all of the Rebeloper products. Go ahead and check it out. The links are in the description, or you just use Black Friday 50 at store.rebeloper.com, all Rebeloper products. Or if you don't want to buy all of my products, you can pick and choose any of these and then just use Black Friday 30 to get 30% off any individual product. So go ahead, check it out, store.rebeloper.com, and those coupon codes, they are linked down below. And of course, they will disappear after Black Friday. So if you were planning to gift yourself with one of my products, go ahead and check it out. Now is the time to take advantage of these sales. Okay, so previously, if you watched my other live yesterday, we were talking about data handling and how all of that is done. And we actually made an MVVM system right over here. So we had our view, we also had our model, and of course we also had our view model. So MVVM, model, view model, and it kind of worked really well, and it had its upsides. Of course, now we are going to talk about why MVVM might not be a good fit and what should we use instead. Let me just go and show you what we are going to talk about today. Well, first of all, we are going to go under the environment object. Maybe if we are going to have some time, app storage, and then MVVS and MV. This is what we are going to talk about. What could replace theoretically MVVM? And so where does this all start? Well, if you take a look at how core data is implemented into SwiftUI, then you will see that we don't really have any view models. They have their property wrappers like the fetch request, and basically that's it. You have your view contrast as set up as an environment. So you are using these built-in property wrappers. No view models, and also the profiles. If you are setting, of course, you are setting core data up with your model, then yeah, it's all just the visual interface where you just set up your model. So I propose the following thing. Let's just find out how we can just move away from MVVM and make it a little bit more easier to use with SwiftUI. And the first thing that comes to mind is services. So that's where MVS comes in. Instead of a view model, let's just use a service. So MVS stands for Model View Service. So what I'm going to do, as you can see right over here, we have this profile and we have our fetch profile. Well, in an MVS architecture, you would just create a service for, let's just name this maybe profile service. And you can have multiple, of course, multiple services. I will just delete this content view model. We don't need this actual file anymore. So let's just create a new file. It will be a Swift file. Let's click on next and profile service. Okay, it will be a profile service. Let's create that and let's import SwiftUI right over here. And actually what I'm going to do is kind of copy out what we already have. We're just moving it away into our profile service. And instead of naming this view model, it will be profile service. And of course, we have our profile, we have our fetch profile right over here. So how would we use that? Well, as you might have expected, we are not using MVVM, so no view model. So we want to replace the view model. So what are we going to do? Well, right on the app, but this could be anywhere logical for you, so it can trickle down on the view hierarchy. You want to set up this profile service or any service that you create. So private state object, profile service of type profile service. And all I want to do is set this up as an environment object, profile service. Okay, so profile service is now available through content view, all of these children, and of course, if we were in the navigation stack, then we would just have access to that on other navigated views also. So right over here in the content view, we are going to have a private environment object, profile service of type profile service. Please note that I'm just setting up the type because the actual state source of truth is declared when I declare the state object. Okay, so now right over here for the profile service, I can just simply remove our view model because all of the functionality is the same. I can just do just that. And now I can just simply remove our view model. Let's hit Command R so we can see that everything worked as expected. There we go. Let's just wait for that. Alex has appeared. Let's just tap me. Ada has been changed. And of course, we can just type in here anything that we like for our text field. And that is MVS in a nutshell. So could we have multiple services? Yes, indeed. And you should have, because then you have separation of concerns. Maybe you have a profile service, you have a setting service, all of that stuff. And now it's all tucked away like it would be right over here. So I can just simply remove this extension from the content view. Now, one thing to note here is that this profile service is now available from the content view downward. What you should do is just what we did with the content view model right over here. You want to make sure that this profile service or any other service is available only where it needs to be. So you don't have to put this on the content view. You can just have it on any other view set up as an environment object, and thereafter you can access it as an environment object. Okay, so that's environment object and MVVS. So let's take a little break from MVVM, MVS, and MV. We are going to talk about MV in just a second. Let's talk a little bit about app storage, because that is kind of a little bit of outlier. It's a custom property wrapper. It is a property wrapper from SwiftUI. It's not custom. It's their own property wrapper. It's wrapping basically user defaults. So how does that work? Let's just have, for example, an app storage. So app storage. Let's just have the key of score. And let's just have this as private var score equals 0. So let me just explain what's going on here. We have a score key, and then we are just naming it score. That's the property name. And we are giving it not a default value, an initial value if the key value pair is not already inside user defaults. So therefore, I can just use this. And then maybe if I just want to put this also on the my text field, well, maybe I do want to have that. Then I can just use it. So let's just create here a simple, let's just have a horizontal stack. I know this kind of UI doesn't really make sense, but as for this example, I'm just going to have score and then just having it score right over there. I would just add the same text also into the content view. So maybe after the button tab, that's our score. Okay, so let's just build and run so we can see those zeros right over there. There we go. We have this on the my text field and this right on the content view, and it's 0. Okay, that's fine. So let's just have a button and we are going to have, let's say, increase score. And for the action, all I have to do is just have score plus equals 1. Because, you know, the state variables and all of that, they are just only in memory. Now, app storage will store this, will persist this through launches. So let's build and run. And currently it's 0, and let's increase the score. As you can see, we have 1 right over there. Let's increase one more time, and now let's stop and let's build and run again. And as you can see, the score has been persisted. This is an easy way to have access to user defaults inside your views. And as you can see, it's using a property wrapper. So that brings to kind of my future of architectures with SwiftUI, and that is MV. That's just model and view. We have our profile right over here. That's fine. That's our model. And then we have our view. So how would we do that? Well, first of all, you could just simply use the simple state variable, or if it's just a little bit more complicated, you could use a custom property wrapper. Now, I won't go into custom property wrappers. You can Google that if you want to. I also have a Firebase service where I have custom property wrappers for Firestore. It's on GitHub. Go ahead and check it out if you really want to dig down deep into custom property wrappers. But basically, what you want to avoid is creating even a service. So basically, let's do that. So we have our profile right over here. So again, let's cut ties with the profile service. So we have our profile right over here. Let's just move that out. Also, the score can remain. I don't really care. And then fetch profile. So how to deal with that? Well, from the profile service, I'm just going to simply copy that out, and then right on the profile, I'm just going to say fetch profile, or just simply fetch. And of course, that is just going to fetch it. So I'm just going to go self equals profile name Alex. Okay, so self is immutable. We actually want to return, I thought that wasn't really correct. We want to return a profile. There we go. So now we are returning our profile. In this case, it's just a one-liner. I can just simply go like profile name Alex. So, of course, this will be just fetching from the server. Now on the content view, instead of profile service fetch profile, what I do is just go self dot profile. This is the state variable, if we recall, all the way up here, equals profile dot fetch. And that will just simply fetch our new profile. Let's build and run. Fingers crossed that this will work. And it should just say in about 2 seconds, Alex, which is indeed what we have. Now, why is this really amazing? Well, that's because we only are using the built-in state variable for our profile. It could be an array of models and all of that. And all of the functionality is tucked away in the model. So fetch, the business logic is right over here, which is really nice. Of course, you could just have an API service right over here, kind of, that you can use on all of the models. But you know, it's just tucked away inside the model. And that is basically my newest approach to SwiftUI architecture. It's the MV, just the model and the view. No view models, not really services, just the models and views. Now, if you did like this video, go ahead and check out on my other products. It's we are having a Black Friday sale. It's a store.rebeloper.com, and if you are using Black Friday 50, the coupon code on all Rebeloper products, then you are going to have a 50% off. And if you want to just buy some of my products, like you want to handpick some of them, you can have 30% off with the coupon code Black Friday 30. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.